Right, I've got my hoop, I've checked the moat. It's a worry, I tell you. Anyway, so I put this in the hoop. I also put the kettle on as well, couldn't resist. Made a brew. Do you know what, even I'm just literally across an outdoor passageway, 2 steps from my kitchen to get in here, but it's horrible out there. Right, so just stab stitch in the pertinent colours. And also I'm thinking, I mean, you could go on forever. You could just embellish. Because what I'm going to say is that I could stab stitch all around here in this pink, and then in between each stab stitch I could do the blue French knot. Or I could stab stitch in blue and pink. So you know what I mean? Just go to town. Do as little or as much as you want. But again, don't leave massively long tails, because they're bright colours, they'll show through this. They'll show through this silk. It depends what fabric you're using, I guess. So I want to get this stab stitched on and make sure my button fits. And if it doesn't, I'll go away and have a bit of a cry, and then I'll come back. So up through the thin and down through the thick. It's much the easiest way than stab stitch. And it shouldn't take me too long. But I'm just thinking, if I do it with blue as well, it'll obviously take me. Can you hear that weather? Take me twice as long, won't it, to put the blue on. So maybe I could start the blue and finish the blue off camera. And again, this is an instance of seeing the bigger picture, because once this page is titterbaited, it's going to be marvellous. Sometimes like the crayon colours and simplicity. I think they're a nice contrast to other work that I do. No, I don't tend to do a diagonal one in the corner. So if I do my next pink one here, then I've got room for blue ones in the corner. I could pull out this camera stand I'm using. It's my husband's photography one, because it's more stable than mine. Mine's getting really unstable. The legs move for no reason, so I've stolen his. But it's hard to adjust the head on this one. It's like got a trigger thing and it's really, really stiff. So shouldn't take me too long. Try and stay awake. In fact, I won't put any blue on now. I'll do it off camera and you'll see it when you get the pictures. I'm just conscious of boring you to death, that's all. I'd like to get on to what other embellishment I'm doing on here. But even if I didn't put any blue on, that still looks nice. And again, I say, when the rest of the embellishment's done on here, it will look different again. And if you think about, God, I've really got a frog. When the pages are all done, and you've got half a dozen of these. Sorry, I keep moving. Front and back. And you don't have to do exactly on the back either what you're doing on the front. What's happening to my voice? I'd be in big trouble, wouldn't I, if I lost my voice? There'd be a massive worldwide sigh of relief, but I'd be in big trouble. Now when it comes to putting the front and back together, you might think it's just a case of getting it on the sewing machine and whizzing around 3 sides, turning it right way out, but I avoid that if I can, because I don't trust that it won't get even the slightest crease in it turning it right way out. I don't like to, I prefer to just do it all by hand. I haven't got a problem with time consuming. I embrace the time consuming, as you probably realised. So right, I think we'll have one more pink and leave room for blue. So I'm going to go in between all these with blue, I think. If they're not there in the images, then I did it and didn't like it and changed my mind. Okay. So Henrietta knot. And I'm not just going to leave the end flying about either. I'm going to feed it through there to catch it in there. Because I really wouldn't be happy if it was so obvious from the front that that was there. Right, so fingers crossed the button will fit in, girls, because if not, there'll be tears. There will be tears, I guarantee it. Just need them, put them over there. Here we go, here we go. Yay! There. Fine, absolutely fine, fits perfectly. Right. I won't be tying it in either, I'll just be putting it in. So it'll be removable. Can you imagine the weight this book's going to have? Right, so what I'm going to do now is, along this bottom one, I'm going to do some French knots on stalks, okay, all the way along, like a little garden, using that line as a guide. Alright, so I'll do some blue ones first. Mimicking what's going on the button, which is there. And again, not a massively long tail. Right, so I've got my, take that off. I've got my guideline there on the bottom. And if I do them different heights, 1, 2, 3. And what I'm also going to do, so that's one, but then I'm going to do another French knot at the side of that. Okay, and then we're going to come and do a French knot at the bottom. Like that. And then I'm going to fasten that off because I'm not going to drag this across because it'll be visible. Okay. So I'll do another one further along, and this will be the pattern all the way along. I won't drag my thread across. I can't bring myself to do that. Because past experience has taught me that it can ruin a bit of work if you can see all this colour trailing at the back. So if I do another higher one here, 1, 2, 3, going about there. Do another French knot at the side. 1, 2, 3. And then come down to the bottom and do another one, and that way you're getting your thread back at the bottom, but it's hidden behind that upward stalk. Sorry, It's hidden behind that upward stalk so it's not massively visible. And another one at the bottom. And then fasten that off. Okay. And now I'm going to get pink. It really doesn't matter to me stopping and starting like this and tying things off. It's definitely worth it. It's for the greater good. Put a knot in this. Very short tail again. And I'm going to put a pink one at the top here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I'm going to fasten that off. Yes, really. Very short tail. Knot again. I mean, we're not talking 5 yards of fabric here. We're talking 5 inches, so it's not going to be massively time consuming, but even if it was, it really wouldn't bother me. I think it's worth it for the overall effect of your work. Do another pink one here. 1, 2, 3. Now I could even do some coming down that way. I don't think I will, but I could, although I might see how balanced it looks, because I think it might need something down there, but I want to do something else on here anyway, so that might happen under there. So I'll fasten that off. Very short tail, and what's left on this needle I'll use to do a pink French knot on a stalk, and then I'll do a blue French knot next to it later, the same as I've just done these pink ones. I come up there, do a little one, 1, 2, 3, there, do another one there, 1, 2, 3, and then do one on the bottom at this side. And when I've done these, I'll take out that basting stitch, obviously. And then I need a blue one up there, don't I? So I'll just use this thread up before I go on to the next thing. I'll do another pink one. Now there needs to be some lemon in this. And well, I guess I'm saying there needs to be some lemon. There's orange in that button as well. I don't necessarily have to use every single colour. So if I come up there, 1, 2, 3, come up a lot higher to there, there. That's alright. That one's leaning, but only because the French knots are pushing it to the side. It doesn't really matter. Not every flower in every garden is straight up, is it? And go down to the bottom and do another one. So what I'm going to do on here now, I'm going to scatter some web stitches around. So that's why I'm thinking it might be okay, it might balance out if I don't do any of these coming down the way. So I don't think I've got any lemon border. I think I've only got lemon in there. Well, I have actually in a bag in the house for a different project. Lemon stranded, and web stitches are hard to do with stranded cotton because it splits. So I'll get a pencil. So I can't fit any web stitches there or there. So if I just put a little circle where I want the web, because that'll be covered. You can use tailor's chalk if you want, but this is okay because it'll be covered. So that's going to be them. I could do one there, one there, like that. So we'll do web stitches where those marks are. So if I do one at the bottom, we can check that that balances it out. I'll do one in the stranded cotton. It's not impossible, it's just more difficult because it splits, obviously, because it's stranded cotton. That won't be enough, so that won't be enough. Which I'll take up all of that because they're not, and then separate it. Don't forget to be separating this, and that's all explained in the basics video. I should make you all sign a bit of paper at the beginning of class that you've watched the basics video. So if I wind this back on, I'm going to do the whole thing with the blunt needle because I know that my blunt needle will pierce this silk because I've done it before. Right, I can rejoin these. It might actually be an idea to do, instead of doing the blue in between them, to do lemon, and that'll balance out the colour of the lemon web stitches. If I put a knot in this, yeah, I think I'll do that. So I need to cover this. Use tailor's chalk if you like, but I don't worry about this because I'm not dragging my thread through it, through the pencil, and it will be covered by the web stitch. Now, when it comes to the back, I've got 2 lines to embellish at the back. I might do web stitches on both lines, because if I do French knots on stalk, that's my spine. It might get too leggy, if you know what I mean. So I might just do web stitches down both those lines. Right, it's not very big this. So I'm not going to do all of these lemon, of course. But if I do this first one lemon, then you'll get an idea of how the colour balance is working. Although having said that, have you seen the pictures anywhere? And it will be damp stretched. Without a shadow of a doubt, it will be damp stretched. I'm just going to check on the mort in a minute. Maybe if I fork the garden it will, but then who wants to fork the garden in a monsoon? And anyway, I haven't got a garden fork because I've got a gardener, so he just brings all his stuff with him. And that isn't because I'm posh, because I hate gardening. I don't mind sacrificing the money to save me the trouble. Oh, keep moving, I'm so sorry. Get carried away. See, stranded cotton, not the best thing to do web stitch with. don't know what that was. That creak might have been me, but it wasn't. Probably going to have enough on here to do that little stitching around the side. Right, I think that's it. So if I just do one more and go down to the back and fasten that off. And change to a sharp needle to go around the outside bit. Don't worry, I'm going to go in a minute. But you're all thinking, sheesh Karen, come on. I'm going to separate this again and rejoin it because it got twisted doing that web stitch. Always get into that habit. Whenever you can, separating and rejoining, it really does move the twist. Oops. Knotting. Right. Let's see. Need to move the hoop. It's going to be really pretty. There's a place in the world for little pretty things like this. Without a shadow of a doubt. Make me happy anyway. Oh yeah, lemon was the right choice. I'm putting them quite close to the pink ones, not necessarily halfway. Just lifts it a little bit. Just be interesting to see what happens when I get to the corner. Placement wise, you know, I might have to put one on each side of the pink one in the corner. But see, there's no hard or fast rules, whatever works for you. I'm minded now as well to put a lemon French knot on these as well. Right, so that's that one, so there's two on that one. And turn it round. And do two next to that one. One on each side of that one. There. So I'll finish that off camera, but it has made a big difference. And then when I get back to this, I'll go on the other side with that pink one and do the lemon one there. But like I say, you'll see the photographs anyway. So hopefully I'll have the front and back damp stretched ready for your images. And then next week we'll put the pages together depending on how many pages I've got done, but I'm determined to finish this before we finish. Okay, it's pretty and it's a nice contrast to what we've been doing. Like I said, I'm minded to put a lemon French knot in there, in with that blue and pink. But we'll see, we'll see. Okay, I'm cramping the finger.